North Korea is without a doubt one of the poorest places on Earth. This is a fact that can't be denied. Since more than 15 years ago, more than 10 million people in North Korea have been living in conditions that are similar to famine. They have a ridiculously small amount of food to eat. It seems like their supreme leader also lives a simple, routine life with only the bare necessities of comfort. Well, that isn't the case. Hello everyone, and today we'll tell you how President Kim Jong-un spends all his money. Kim Jong-un has the most power in North Korea and is thought to be worth about $5 billion. Kim Jong-un lives in every way like an emperor would. Take, for example, the way he eats. He loves his lobster with caviar. Kim is also pretty interested in high-end brands and goods, and his collection of high-end cars shows this. Even though the United States and the United Nations have put a lot of restrictions on North Korea, Kim Jong-un has been able to buy a number of very expensive cars. Among them are a Maybach S62 and a Maybach S600. These are the official cars that the state has given to Kim. Aside from these two, he also has a fleet of Mercedes-Benz G-Wagons, a few Rolls-Royces, and other customized and decked-out Land Rovers. To put it simply, these are very expensive cars that can be driven by a personal chauffeur. People also know that he gives expensive gifts to people he likes. This includes expensive things like fur coats, jewelry, and other fashion accessories like fancy watches and rare alcohol. Over the past 7 years, it looks like Kim Jong-un has spent more than $4 billion on his generals. Most of the Republic of North Korea's security staff are women. More than 90,000 people work for his protection detail, and most of them are women. Even so, there are rumors that Kim Jong-un has brought in martial arts experts from China and Russia to train a small group of men that he chooses himself. Experts from China and Russia were flown in to teach these men what they needed to know. His personal bodyguards are the people who are often seen running along with his cars. Kim Jong-un owns more than one yacht, but the Princess Yacht, which was made in the UK by a company with the same name, gets the most attention. The 95 MY yacht is not the newest or most advanced model on the market, but it definitely is one of the most luxurious. It looks like there are 24 people on the crew, but there are only 16 people on board. It can be bought on the secondary market for between $7 million and $8 million. Prices can be very different. He has enough alcohol to be worth $30 million every year. You must be thinking that it's impossible to drink that much alcohol in 1 year and still be alive. It just doesn't make sense. But the numbers start to add up when you open 2 or 3 bottles of the best champagnes from around the world almost every day. Kim has a great taste for cognac, and he often buys hundreds of bottles of the best aged cognacs from around the world. He owns his own party island where he can have fun with his friends. Dennis Rodman, an American pro basketball player, once went to North Korea as a guest of Kim Jong-un. Rodman said in interviews after he got back to the US that he and Kim would often party all night on Kim's private island, which had everything a man could want, like a football field, a basketball court, party boats, swimming pools, and even a small water deck. Rodman's words were made public after he got back to the US. China is one of the few countries that hasn't put sanctions on North Korea. When Kim Jong-un needs to go to China, he often takes his own train, which has its own set of tracks inside North Korea and in some parts of China. In North Korea, this train also has its own set of tracks. Even though not much is known about the train itself, several reports say that even though it looks like something from the 1950s, it's actually a mobile command unit with the latest communication systems, expensive wines from France, and often caviar and lobsters. Reports say that Kim has almost 20 palaces and mansions in North Korea for his own use. These homes are spread out all over the country. He's also said to own more than 100 high-end cars, and he seems to like cars made in Europe the most. Kim Jong-un also owns at least one private plane and a luxury yacht that's more than 100 feet long. Dennis Rodman said that Kim Jong-un spends most of his time on a private island off the coast of North Korea. South Korea and the United States did a joint investigation in March 2013 and found that Kim Jong-un and his family controlled assets and bank accounts worth as much as $5 billion. More than 2 offshore bank accounts were found to have assets in them. Countries all over the world like Austria, Liechtenstein, Russia, Singapore, China, Switzerland, and Luxembourg had these offshore bank accounts. People think that a few of the counts are in China and hold a total of hundreds of millions of dollars in cash. In 2011, Kim Jong-un started his career as a politician by ordering that a lot of his father's top executives, including his uncle, be fired or killed. His uncle was also killed. People say that his uncle, Jang Sang-taek, was killed for being a traitor and plotting to overthrow the government. In 2017, Kim's older half-brother, Kim Jong-nam, was put to death at a Malaysian airport. North Korea did its fifth underground nuclear test in September 2016. This was part of an expansion of the country's military testing programs. When North Korea fired a ballistic missile with medium to long range in February 2017, people all over the world were angry about it. Kim has been trying to get along better with South Korea. Most recently, he did this by sending people to South Korea for the Olympics. Kim's younger sister made history when she went to South Korea to watch the Olympics and have dinner with the president of South Korea. She was the first member of North Korea's ruling family to leave the country. South Korea still says that North Korea is breaking human rights, even though Kim has said he'll focus on rebuilding the country's education, agriculture, and economy. The claims are based on the deaths of many people who worked for the government. He lives in Rongsong Residence, which is like a presidential palace in North Korea. The palace has spas, running tracks, banquet rooms, a shooting range, an Olympic-sized swimming pool with a big water slide, and shooting ranges. In case of war, the palace is fully shielded and protected. The insides are done to a high level of quality. Outside of work, he likes to watch Jackie Chan movies, play basketball, and play computer games. He likes to spend a lot of money on things like alcoholic drinks, exotic animals, and expensive perfumes. Besides that, he smokes a lot. Kim has trouble sleeping, mental health problems, high blood pressure, and diabetes, even though living under a dictatorship gives him all the comforts and conveniences that democracy doesn't have. Since Kim Jong-un has spent most of his life trying to avoid being watched by the public, not much is known about his childhood. Also, no one knows for sure when he was born. Kim is a firm believer in independence and building national businesses as a way to stop being dependent on anyone, even allies. Even though he works hard to help North Korea get better, most of what he does causes problems for other countries all over the world. He's been pushing for economic and cultural changes in North Korea to help stop the widespread hunger and food shortages that are a problem there. He's given orders that will lead to a number of amusement parks and ski resorts being built. His government is responsible for a huge number of human rights violations in North Korea's worst prison camps. And he started testing nuclear weapons even though there's a ban on them. So long as he stays in charge of the situation, his money will keep growing. Even though a lot of people think that he got a lot of his money by being dishonest, this has no effect on how much he makes, how much he has, or how much he's worth. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like and comment down your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.